Da-da-da. Hello, everybody. Say hi as you come in. I'm sorry I'm late. I am so frazzled. I've been running around for the past hour trying to get set up for this, and I still don't think I've got it right. Let me get into my site. I'm not even ready here, but I was so late. I had to adapt and conquer, right? My first moderator, whoever you come in, you're in charge. Let me come in here. Well, that's not what I want. Sorry, everybody, but this time, sometimes it happens like this, right? I have my laundry. I walked upstairs. Let me turn my volume off on this one. I ran upstairs with my laundry not quite dry, and I had to sort all the clothes that I thought would get wrinkly, my work clothes and stuff, and I couldn't get them wrinkly, so I had to pull them all out of the basket. They're all over the bed, but they're all laid out flat so they don't wrinkle on me. Okay, everybody, I think this is where perfect. Let's go in here, and I'll be able to read your comments as you pop in. Oh, you guys are in already. Awesome. See, I'm all frazzled. Look at my volume. Oh no, my goodness. I'm going to have to turn my volume off on my channel. Everybody, just just hang with me just one moment. And I have no idea what I'm doing here. Here we go. We're going to get bigger on this one. And I want to see the comments. Where are my comments, everybody? That's not going to work for me because I can't see my comments. And that's all I want that. Just bear with me one moment to do. Oh, you guys, I'm not able to read your comments on here, and I can't see all the way over there to read what you guys are yapping about. And I can see you guys are already in here. Bear with me, people. I'll figure this out. Here we go. Try this again. Live. Scratch that. Where are my comments? Come on, everybody. Where are you? Okay, let me come out of here again. And try this again. Maybe I've just got this all wrong. Here we go. Okay, I'm in. One more time, I'm going to disappear on you. Just one more time, everybody. I had my coffee here all ready to go, and my juice. I'm drinking juice. I'm so thirsty, but you would figure, full moon in Libra tonight, right? The 28th. It just seems like it would be the kind of night for a live for me tonight. So let's take a look at the comments, see who's in here. Oh, Andrew's here already. Awesome. Oh, look, the Angry Birds fan is here already. Owen, William, Nancy's here. Yay, Kathy's here. Everybody's here tonight. Awesome. If you want to pop into the comments, check out my look at all these people all in here tonight. I'm so happy to see all of you. William's here too. Awesome. William messaged me this morning and said that he might pop in today live. This is a little bit strange for me, but I'm trying to get used to a new system. Oh, you guys, and look what I got here. Look at me. There we go. Can you guys see that? I got lights. Oh, not really. I ran lights all over this. It's not really set up high enough. It's too cluttered. Look at me being self-critical, but I'm just being honest. It's too cluttered for me. I'm going to have to thin it out, do with a different style. This is a nice setup that I have on this wall here. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody's week been going? Has everybody's week been going okay? Can you hear me okay? I've got my microphone behind me. It's a little bit of an adapt conquer. But we're trying different things out as a set, right? We're trying different things out. And you should have seen me try to fix my camera and play with these extensions. I got too much weight down on the string. My webcam could go flying at any second. So be prepared. it'll be interesting at the very least. Okay, what's going on with everybody? Tell me how your week has been going. I want to know how your week has been going. Let me know. I've had a pretty decent week, I would think. We're a little short-handed at work, and I'm rocking it. I'm showing the very best of myself, right? I'm somebody when things are getting tough, I usually come in a little bit harder, right? And help to pull up the weight and take the burden off, right? That's my way of just, showing my appreciation for your consideration for hiring me to start with, right? Be a team player, right? Don't leave all that work on one person's plate, like spread it out. And yeah, I'm rocking my shifts, but I always rock my shifts when I'm at work, right? That doesn't mean I'm not perfect. I mess up. Oh, and for those of you, maybe on YouTube you didn't hear about it, but I took the keys home from work, the till keys from home from work twice last week, and I thought my boss was going to freak right out on me, and she was really nice and never said anything. So hopefully I've learned my lessons, right? Not to keep the store keys on my wrists and stuff. I just do it as a safety, security kind of measure, but it's too security because I'm taking these keys right home, and I don't want to get up early in the morning to have to deliver those keys before I go to work, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you've been 3 days without internet, water, and power? Oh, Nancy. I hope that you're starting to come out of this stuff now. Like, seriously, it's time for some good things to happen in your life, right? It just seems like you're just taking it every like all the time. If it isn't one thing, it's another. It's like, you must have like the brightest light ever, Nancy, that they world or the universe or the badness in the world, the darkness, they feel like they need to take you down, right? Yep, you must be something real special, Nancy. I mean, I know you're special. I know everybody here knows you're special. But yeah, to have it actually played out in public, yeah, you're taking it, Nancy. For sure you are. But I'm glad to hear that you got your electricity and your internet back, right? What are you worried about now, Nancy? I don't know. I don't know how this is working out because I know all I'm doing is staring at my phone at the conversations that are going on. Yeah. Oh, look, Angry Birds fan. Yeah, we don't do any soliciting here on my channel. So yeah. Thanks, Andrew, for catching that one. Whoops. Yeah, you got to be careful about doing the soliciting like that, right? Because we're only here in support of each other, to make and we're definitely not a group that can afford any extras and stuff right now, right? Lots of us, if you're reading the comments and stuff, you can see we're barely putting groceries in the cupboards, right? But I'm hoping for some of us, things will start looking up, start looking better. This isn't wine, people. This isn't wine. This is grape juice, super, super watered down, right? Because I'm really dehydrated. I had Charlie horses all night last night. I kept waking up with the beginnings of Charlie horses. So the only thing that will stop the Charlie horse from coming on is for me to actually walk around the apartment and stuff. So that was what I was doing last night, was walking out Charlie horses. So I thought today I would try and get more fluids into me, right? But I am very thirsty. How's everybody doing in their vaccinations? Did I hear, Owen, you got yours too? Holy moly. You still haven't got stimulus. I thought everybody was getting their stimulus checks already, Nancy. And it's because you're on disability, you don't get that extra to help you out? That doesn't seem kind of fair. You guys got to put pressure on the government, right? Is it that bad that they need the National Guard to come into Seattle and start rescuing people? Has it gotten to that point? Have I been so unintouched with what's going on with the world? Like, has it gotten that bad in Seattle now? Because I haven't been watching the news or anything. The only thing I've been watching on the news was, well, I guess the discovery of in China, right? That new ancient civilization that they dug up in 1987. Is that 1997? 15 years ago. I don't know. So not sure when that was. Yeah. So I've been watching that and all the artifacts, and yeah, it's pretty neat, pretty interesting. But I haven't been keeping up on the news at all. The only news that I catch is sometimes I catch a little bit on the radio when I'm at work. But other than that, I don't get much. I haven't even been in to see how the spread of the virus has been going, if everybody's been playing it safe. I've been just trying, the more you think about these things, the more they get realized in your life. And I don't need to have those kind of stresses and pressures, especially when I'm working in an environment where I work with the vulnerable. And if I become self-conscious, like really uncomfortable in my work environment because I am working around people that might have the possibility of having the virus, then it's going to make me feel very uncomfortable in my own personal life, right? And it'll stop me from doing my job. And I'm doing such a good job right now. Like, I go to work and it never fails. Every single shift, somebody says something amazing about me. Every once in a while, somebody says something not so amazing. But, the lovely comments that I get from people that actually go out of their way to come up to the counter and take me off to the side and say these things to me. And I think, how sweet is that, right? Oh, Owen, second shot in April already. Awesome, awesome. And your mom too. Your mom's all sorted out now too. Owen, how's your mom doing with the vaccine? Has she gotten both her shots already? A second stimulus check. We haven't gotten any stimulus checks here in Manitoba, but I am working full time, right? I have been working full time, so I don't expect any money. I know when we were off there for 2 months, oh wow, I so needed that little break for 2 months, and that's when I started going live twice a day. You know, it was really much needed. I had just settled into my apartment, or had I? No, I hadn't. I was just back to work and I was moving at the same time. No, it was very, very stressful. It was very stressful, right? But it was really wonderful to have that extra $1,000 to help me get by while I was waiting to get back to work, right? It just seems like everything that's kept me going has come just in the nick of time, right? I'm trying to get ahead of my bills, and and I'm beating myself up, but I don't know why I'm beating myself up because I've accomplished quite a bit. If you haven't noticed, if you weren't here, I got my new glasses, people. It was $700, and I came up with that money on my own. It was tough, but I did it, and I'm very grateful to have a job that actually put me in a position where I could actually afford to pay for my glasses, because I would have been so screwed if I had lost my lens when it was snowing. If I had lost my lens, I lost it. That's why I went and got another pair, and they weren't even my good pair. They were a spare pair that I dug out of a box only because I had ruined my newer prescription was still needed to be replaced like years and years ago, but they were the better of the two pairs. But I destroyed them running hot water over them, so I found these old pair in a box, and the lenses kept popping out, and I thought, oh my goodness, if I lose this lens, I won't even be able to work for at least a couple of weeks while they make me a new pair of glasses, right? So I had to make it a priority. Even though I was working towards a car and everything, I knew I had to take out $1,000, and I had to prioritize. And having a job that will help me move myself forward as I'm trying to do better by myself, because all it takes really is just one good windfall. And just like for you, Nancy, for all of you that have things going on and you don't think you can take it anymore, right? Just take it. Like, ride those waves. Watch Nancy, how she does her movements, when that ugly comes at her and, dishes out these lessons that she would prefer not to have, and how she just pops right up and she just keeps going, right? She just keeps going. Because what are you going to do? You're just going to sit there and cry because nothing gets done otherwise, right? Nothing gets done otherwise. And so many times, actually, most of the times I would think that Nancy, because she talks about it, because she gets it off her chest, because she shares her problems with others, solutions come her way because she's able to do that, right? I'm not somebody who does that. It was just that fear of the no, right? The fear of rejection, the fear of no. It makes it so that I don't ask. And at least that's what I say to myself, because it's something I notice that I do. I'm not quite sure. I try and delve into the different reasons and possibilities, and I do have some reasons as to why I do it. But in the end, I do it, right? And look at this. I don't know how to turn off all this volume here. Let me look at some of these comments here. Wow, so you're going to have to go into the hospital, Nancy, for a week? Holy moly. Oh, okay. Okay. So you're just going to have to stay safe until that the virus, the plague, right? It kind of thins itself out the way the Spanish flu does, and just kind of dies out. So you're going to be vulnerable still for a very long time. Holy moly. Aw. Bridge of Sighs, my earrings, my peace sign earrings. I got those I got those at my work. We have a little earring stand. We sell them for $1 each. I get them for like 70 cents each. And I collect earrings. I got a whole cork board and I cover the whole cork board in earrings, right? And yeah, I like those ones too. Thank you for commenting on them. I really like those earrings. I tried. Today I'm wearing dragonflies. I like dragonflies. I got dragonflies all over the place. I like dragonflies. There's a few creatures of the world that I like to collect, right? And I'm sure, what do you guys collect? What fascinates you? Like I collect a lot of vases, a lot of earthenware, a lot of Egyptian decoration. I'm very eclectic, right? I got fairies and Buddhas and turtles. I collect lots of turtles. I collect rocks. I have tons of rocks here. And I collect all kinds of acorns and indigenous art and Inuit art. Yeah, I'm very eclectic, right? I'm very eclectic. I have a very diverse kind of taste in things. I like to be stimulated all the time. I used to have parties, in my early 20s and stuff. I was very social. I worked in nightclubs and I had gotten myself into a really great group of friends, people who cared about each other. They were all partiers. Everybody had problems, right? But we all dated each other and hung out with each other and partied with each other and went camping. I was always planning these big camping trips and everything. And yes, I was the queen bee of that group. And it was so much fun. And that group stuck together for years and years and years. But one thing I knew is that when I decorated my house in a very eclectic kind of manner, it made everybody feel comfortable in a sense because they could always find certain bits of their own personalities in my decor. And it would help in bringing up conversation because they would say things like, "Oh, you collect Egyptian art. So do I, right? Oh, you got a Trojan horse. Do you know the story of the Trojan horse?" Right? And these build conversations and you get to know people a little bit better and people will actually open up to you, right? And it helped me out lots. It helped me out lots of being a social person. I was very social, but very social on my own turf and on my own terms, right? I didn't like to go to other people's house parties and stuff like that, but I had no problem having parties and barbecues and get-togethers. I had no problems going camping and going to concerts, but I always ended up at my own home in my own bed every single night. Right? I like my space, and I like to have my entertaining done in my own home in my own comforts. Right? It's a safety issue. I guess it's a little bit of safety issue, and at the same time, you know, if you're uncomfortable, because lots of times I go to house parties and I would sit there and I kind of be, even though I was very popular and everything, it wasn't my thing. Going to house parties, I wasn't a drinker. It wasn't my thing, right? But I would always go just out of courtesy because these were my good customers who were putting the bread and butter on my table, putting the roof over my head. And they had interesting stories of their own and I loved them and I wanted to support them in their own lives, right? So if they were having a house party and they wanted me to be there, I would make a point of making sure that I was courteous and polite enough to make sure I gave them that respect and went over to their house. But lots of times I'd always find myself, in the kitchen washing their dishes or hanging out in the backyard or walking up and down the sidewalk in front of the house and stuff, just doing things off on my own. But of course, somebody would always find me. And then that's when all those amazing, amazing conversations that actually led into friendships or, "Hey, we're going here that next weekend," or, "Oh, you should meet my friend Ian," or, "You should meet my friend Brian. You would absolutely love them. You should come over and hang out with us on Saturday." And the next thing you know, you've made an acquaintance, right? You always take things slow when you're making friends, right? And then you spend time with your acquaintances and then you find out if you have more interests or if you don't have the same interests, do they at least tolerate and respect you for your own taste and your own values and your own expectations for your own life? Like, are they a live and let live kind of person? Do they believe that it takes all kinds to make the world, right? If that's what you care about, right? But if you're hanging out with me and you're hanging out on my channel in anywheres on any of my platforms, it's huge, right? It takes all kinds to make the world. Everybody has problems. Everybody has amazing gifts, right? But unless we're interacting with each other, nobody's ever going to know, right? Nobody's ever going to know how Nancy struggles, or how smart Andrew is, how he can dig up an answer, if you ask him, and how considerate and thoughtful, right, and caring he is, and how wonderful and caring Owen is, how he takes care of his mother, and and I wouldn't realize I have so many caregivers on my channel unless we actually did communicate, And I was actually talking about this today. Was it today or yesterday on my Instagram, talking about the people who give more of themselves, than they give more of themselves than they do give to themselves, right? Lots of people, they have struggles, they have problems, they have insecurities and limiting beliefs, right? And yet they find these ways, they're resourceful and stuff, to find ways to shine their magic somehow, even if it's just coming to hang out with me on Sunday nights, right? And then we get to see how amazing Nancy is, and how amazing Owen and Andrew and William, right? How all Kathy, how all these amazing people who come out and visit us on Sunday nights just to say hello. And Kim, I know Kim will be in there, and Sharon will pop in later and watch the live later. Like, all you people, you mean absolutely a ton to me, right? But how would we know how amazing each of us is, right? Unless we spend that time to get to know each other. That's what those comments in YouTube are for. When I go live on Sunday night, and how fast my comments go and stuff. And I love those conversations that everybody has. And let me have a sip of my coffee. That's good. How everybody comes alive in the conversations on Sunday nights, and how every once in a while somebody who just sits and reads the comments and watches my interactions and the content that I put out there, at some point, because it's not easy. It's not easy to have interactions with people that you don't know. If it's not your thing, you don't have conversations online. Yes, you watch YouTube videos. Maybe you'll go live. Maybe you'll watch motivation, right, and self-help stuff. But, to actually be interactive in the comments, right? It's like having pen pals in the spot. It's like having a phone conversation with good friends, and you're at a safe distance, right? Right? The only thing that could hurt you are sticks and stones, right? And you know what? We're a bunch of tough birds in here, aren't we? When I say birds, it's not a gender things, because, birds come in all kinds of genders too, right? But yeah. Right, that's actually an amazing quote there, what Andrew was saying. He said he saw part of the Angry Gables, and he was talking about a quote. It's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it. And that's 100% right, And I didn't always think that way. I actually thought it was the opposite way around, and I'd always wonder why I wasn't. Right, because you're not earning the respect. You're not earning the right to shine your light that way. It's a struggle, right? I'm not a caregiver, right? You guys are way ahead of me when it comes to being of service. You guys are way ahead of me when it comes to being of service, because a caregiver right? Unless you count what I'm doing online, keeping everybody company and letting everybody know that everything's going to be okay, because everything is going to be okay, right? Ride those waves. It's not going to be fun, but you know what? When it's over, and we're going to move on to bigger and better things, right? 100%. When people spend time by themselves, it's because they're hiding something. They have something that, right? Or they're not well. And if they're not well, they actually need that company more than ever, more than anybody actually needs, right? To be able to have those interactions with everybody. And just think and be grateful that we live in a digital age, that we can actually sit in the safety of our own home, in our own office chairs, and have these amazing conversations with each other, because our parents weren't able to do this, right? Maybe they spent their whole life just isolated, just by themselves, right? Exactly what Andrew was saying, in isolation, because there wasn't a way to interact, especially if you were a housewife or something. Like, you didn't work, you spent your time at home taking care of the kids, running your household, right? So the only interaction that you would have with the outside world would have been what you learned from watching your soap operas on TV. And there was a lot of soap opera watching in my household. Yeah, I was brought up on Young and the Restless. I guess that was my. I haven't watched Young and the Restless in years and years. I have not watched TV in years and years, and I don't miss it an iota, not in the very least. I don't even have time for it. And especially when I'm working online and I'm taking on studies online, I don't need that background stuff, right? That actually just hypnotizes me into being brainless, right? Because that's what it all is. It's just entertaining me so that I just stare at the screen, right? I would much rather take in some great thought leadership or something online. And I listen to some amazing, amazing people. I move myself forward, right? I call it moving it forward in my evolution, because it's changing me so much for the better, right? That I almost came this close just a few months ago to being homeless, and look where I'm sitting right now. I have an apartment. I only pay $360 a month. I've just gotten my new glasses. I've just got my new phone, everybody. I got my new phone, right? We're working at saving for a car, right? I got my driver's license. These are amazing things that I've done on my own. And I can't stop. And when I'm feeling bad, when I'm feeling about the things that are dragging me down, like, I have to think about the things that I accomplished. Like you, Nancy, right? 3 days you were without your internet and your hydro and stuff, right? You got it back on. You were resourceful. You figured out a way. You got it back hooked up, right? But it's those hookup fees that are killer, right? Because they could almost be as much as a month payment too. So we have to figure out a way not to let you fall behind, so that you're not able to pay those bills every month, because it's hard, right? To pay those reconnection fees. And not just hard to pay the reconnection fees, but emotionally, like, you shouldn't have to be dealing with these things. Like, these are just added stress that you just absolutely don't need, especially in a frightful situation that you're living in right now, Nancy, right? What? Who timed out Owen? Who timed out Owen? Was that me? If that was me, Owen, I'm sorry I pushed that button. I didn't do that. Owen, I hope you're still there. Let me figure out. I just saw that, you guys. I don't think I did that, but only one of the moderators could do that. So I don't know. Maybe you took Nancy off. Owen, make sure you're coming back here. I have no idea what happened there, but I was in the comments there, and I was pushing buttons, right? Because I'm kind of working here, and I'm working it on my phone too at the same time to read the comments on what everybody's doing. So That's a good way to look at it, Andrew. There's a healthy solitude and unhealthy isolation, right? My healthy solitude is when I'm out on the back roads, when I'm out driving on the back roads and I'm looking at forests, or when I'm actually walking through the bush, right? Enjoying Mother Nature. Yeah. That is healthy isolation. That is healthy isolation. Or when I'm sitting here and I'm taking my studies, that is healthy isolation because I'm not being distracted by the things around me, right? I'm sorry to hear about your cat, dear. I'm really sorry. My cat hasn't been well for the past week. A couple of days this week, she was meowing at me like she was in pain. But I'm going to put it off for the very longest that I can, right? Because if there's nothing that I could do about it, right? If there's nothing that I could do about it, then I don't want to put her through that stress and have her stay overnight at the animal hospital just to be put down, right? That's too scary. I've done that with my last two cats, and it was very traumatizing for the cats. And I was very upset by that. I was very sad that my cats had to spend that time in a hospital instead of spending their last bit of time with me, right? We're not saying that there's anything with my cat, like there definitely isn't, and I'm saying that right now, right? But I'm just saying, life is life, and we have to prepare ourselves for these things that go on, right? But I would love to have my cats just stay with me right to the end, because if my cat's going to be sick, I would much rather her be sick just at home, where she's comfortable, rather than in a hospital where she's just going to be scared and lonely, right? Yeah, for sure. I'm time I'm timing people out. How am I doing that? I'm watching my fingers. You guys, thank you, Nancy, for telling me. I got to be careful. I'm doing that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Owen. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you stuck around and you knew that wasn't on purpose. I hope you don't think that was on purpose. Hi, Dave. Ah, Dave is here. I love Dave. Dave is moo cow, you guys. Sorry. I don't know how to time someone out either, but I am doing a lot of this pushing the buttons and stuff, right? I am really sorry. I hope you didn't think we were serious. I really hope. But any one of them could have done it. It's like a game of Clue, Owen. Game of Clue to figure out who did that to you. If anybody did that to you, it wasn't with intent, right? Yeah, but I know it was probably me. It was probably me. I can actually write comments here too, but I'm just chatting at you guys anyway, so I don't see any point, except maybe I guess I could, at you, right? To let you know that I see you there, but I could just say, hey, hi Andrew, hi Nancy, hi Kathy, hi Owen, hi William, hi Moo Cow, hi Dave, hi Kathy, William, Nancy, wait, and Bridge of Sighs, but I really am sorry to hear about your cat, right? I'm very attached to my cat. Like my cat got me out of a rough time last year, right? And I try to take good care of her. I definitely love on her lots, and she loves that more than she loves food. But you wouldn't know it to look at her, because she's definitely a meatball, right? Meatball, cutie, huh? Yeah, she's a cute cat. She's a cute cat. She's been a good friend to me. I'm coming down on the comments, people. I'm just checking out what I'm missing out. If Let me know if I do it again, okay? Oh, see, that's the way I would like to do that. She was in a little bit of pain. And it doesn't last. It doesn't last for very long, 10 minutes or so. But I noticed that she likes to sleep afterwards, right? When the pain is gone. So if it's cat cancer or something like that, you know what? Not going to put my cat through that emotional stress, right? Sometimes the emotional stress is a lot worse than the physical stress. If you ever watch those YouTube videos when they're taking the dogs to the vet, right? The reactions when you take the dogs to the vet, how stressed they get, right? They get very stressed and how sad it is. And like when you see the dogs and the pounds and stuff like that, it's hard to see that, right? I just watched a video where there was a 14-year-old dog getting adopted out. It is like its last couple of years and its owners, right? I had to turn them in. And then another one of a really, really old cat where people had to move and they just left the cat behind and the cat was just hanging around their old house. Couldn't even get into the house anymore, right? So the neighbors took care of it. Like the things that people do to animals, it's just pitiful sometimes. And especially when you look, I watch a lot, like I'm drawn to the people of India, right? And their plight. I mean, they have 2.4 billion people in India. Can you imagine the havoc that this coronavirus is doing in India, right? So my heart goes out to them. But at the same time, my heart goes out to all these dogs that are just breeding with each other, but they're living on the streets like skeletons, right? And then you have they're almost like scalpers, right? They're YouTubers and they come in and they make their money on YouTube by saving dogs, and they'll videotape the whole process of how they grabbed a dog that was on the street, and they'll find the most decrepit dog, and yes, amazing, the dog is getting saved, right? It's worth it. But people are giving their money to these YouTubers, right, to save these animals. But when they do one animal a month, or two animals a month, where's all this money going to, right? Right? It's not going towards the animals, and they're making lots of money because you could tell just by the amount of views these videos get, right? And even me, I want to help, but I'm very strict with myself, right? To really understand these organizations before I part with my money. If I ever get into a position where I'm going to be able to do a little bit of philanthropy, I do want to do like laptops and computers for baby boomers, to keep them in touch with the digital age. I want to give surprise days to little kids, those little preteens and stuff that are having a rough time at home and a rough time at school, and give them those days that we all dream about, right? And it's kind of like when you dream about your fairy tale wedding if you're a little girl, those kind of ideas, right? Or wanting to go to Disneyland. I would love to get in a position where, I could do good by some of these kids that, because it got me by so many times, when I was getting picked on and I felt unloved and unwanted and not valued when I was a little kid, and somebody would do a kind thing for me. Oh my goodness, it would mean so much to me, and it would keep me going. It would keep me optimistic that there were good people out there and there was still an opportunity to have a good life, right? To be a good person. And you think about these things as an adult, and because when you're a little kid and they're happening to you, you go, thank you, and off you go, and right, you don't really appreciate it. But when you look back on your life and you think, oh my God, that might have been a turning point where I decided that, from now on, this is the way I wanted to live. Or maybe one of those people were one of the people that inspired me that I wanted to be a philanthropist myself, right? I don't know where that need and that want to be a philanthropist came from. I know it has always been there. It has always been there. But I've read lots of stories and associations, and I would have figured out what a philanthropist was. And I guess somebody who loves history, it probably would have popped up with me studying 18th century stuff. It would have popped up in the subjects, and I would have been fascinated by it, right? So somehow I bit on the idea that I wanted to be a philanthropist. But being a philanthropist, you have to have some money to do that. I mean, you do kind things that don't cost money. And I guess in a way, kind of like, holding the door open for people and carrying people's groceries and doing favors for people. just sitting and listening to this kind of philanthropy too. But I'm talking about the kind that actually costs money, where you can actually make a huge difference by filling somebody's cupboards up, or taking the kids to the amusement park, or to the movies, or Disneyland even, or the right, all these amazing adventures that you could get people introduced to, because maybe somebody did that for me at some stage. Maybe that's why I was always wanting to be an archaeologist, right? Or maybe it was something that made it so I didn't stop trying, because maybe I was at my end of my rope at one point, and maybe I would never have tried again. But right in that moment, somebody did something nice for me, and it imprinted me in my soul, and it makes it so that I want to keep going, right? And plus, when you lose people too, right? When you lose people and you see that waste of life and that waste of sunshine, and you reflect on yourself, what you could have done different, right? But because I believe in reincarnation, because I believe that we're going to get another shot, and because I believe that everybody who comes into your life will come into your life in a different way, in a different aspect, but they're still going to come into your life in the next life, right? Again, because you all decided to come together to help each other along in our evolution. So, I might have messed up with a few of my friends, where I could have helped them to move on a little bit better than they had, right? But I will know better in the next life, right? I have a better understanding of how emotions affect our own well-being. And if you don't think people care, then lots of times we don't try, right? And then lots of times we're so afraid of trying, that we don't even try, right? Yeah. So let's look at some of these comments. I'm getting about away from myself here. Oh, okay. I'm really, really dehydrated. You can see I got juice here, I got coffee here. Yeah, I'm really, really, really thirsty. Really thirsty. Right. And that's what we do, right? Bridge of Sighs is that we actually we have our pets, because and that's exactly why I got my cat, right? Because I thought I was spending too much time on myself. And like Andrew said, there's a difference between solitude, and actual loneliness, right? I'm for animals. Basically, it's cats. I did have a couple of rats when I was in my 20s, and that I loved my rats too. And they were pretty clean, and they were friendly, and yeah, they were really, really good pets. They lived in a bird cage. And they were really clean and really friendly. But the thing is, they only lived for a couple of years, and then you have to replace them, right? Because they have a very short lifespan. So I would be very heartbroken when they passed away, right? So to go through that kind of pain all the time. So I just said, okay, that's enough of the rats. And that's when I started doing cats. I've always done cats. Even when I was a little kid, my parents allowed me to have my own cats. And we always had family cats too, if for nothing else, to kill the mice, right? Yeah, we always seem to have those houses with lots of mice. Right. Wouldn't and it would be fun. I would find philanthropy to be really fun. I would be very good at it too. I would make them surprises. because there's nothing like watching a kid's eyes bulge out of their heads, right? If they don't have a phone, you give them a phone and go, here, this is for you. And the kid has never had a phone. He could never, ever phone his phone. And yet you're just giving them, like this phone was like $1,800 or something. I got the new Pixel, right? But they're expensive, and then to be able to put that kind of joy into somebody's lives, these are the little things that we do for people that make the journey worth taking, right? Because there's so much suffering and pain and heartbreak and sadness that goes along in our lives, right? It's these little, like I said, our lottery here in Canada is Lotto 649. So I always say it's like a Lotto 649 day every once in a while, right? The lottery hits and you have an amazing day. Something wonderful happens, when I got into that program, like when I got my job, like when I got this apartment, right? Like even when I see the people like Nancy get some help, when I want to help out so badly and my heart just breaks because I don't know what to do because I don't have any resources myself. And then she emails me and says, Cindy, things are good. So-and-so help me out, or right? Or somebody sent me this and oh, thank goodness, right? Because even that helps in the journey, and it makes me proud because that help came from my platform, right? Because somebody who follows me had the heart to help Nancy out, right? Which is absolutely amazing that people do that for each other, right? And again, it might not be a lot, but it's a lot to somebody, right? It's like that saying, treasure to one person, junk to one person, treasure to another, right? That there's always a second use out of something. Like, never throw anything away. And if you think somebody can use something that you don't want anymore, like Andrew too, donating all his books and his extra clothes, it's just taking up space. He's minimizing. He's doing that feng shui. Is that what they call it, Andrew? You're going to do that feng shui in your apartment to make some space and get everything cleaned up. But yeah, donate these things. Make somebody's life a little bit better. I got the lights poop scared out of me. Like, you would not believe yesterday. It was dark. It was just getting dark, and I was coming up to the apartment, and I opened up the door, and we have these great big garbage bins right by the back door, and garbage was flying out of there, and some guy crawled out of there. Oh my goodness, I screeched and I scanned my door to get in so fast. I didn't say anything to him or anything, right? And I actually thought, like, should I go into my wallet and give him some money? But I just saw the mess that he was making. He wasn't being respectful. It's a different thing. Like, people are homeless and people have to do what they have to do to keep food in their stomachs, right? Keep the money in their pocket. So they're doing a lot of garbage picking, the homeless and stuff right now. But if somebody's not being respectful, if they're digging in those garbage bins and they're throwing the garbage all over the place and they're not cleaning it up, right? Being respectful after somebody was respectful enough to them not to throw the beer bottles away, to actually put them in a case and let them sit right next to the garbage bin so that you wouldn't have to dig into those bins to find them, right? Like, yeah, you get what you give in this world. Even if you're homeless, right? People will help you out if you need that help. But you have to be respectful, because nobody's going to want to help you, because God isn't going to say, okay, put that one person in front of so-and-so and help him, even though he's been polluting the world with all the garbage, like real garbage people. Like, oh, it was so terrible. It was so terrible. Oh, did I pin a comment, Nancy? Okay, let me figure out if I can do this. Here. Unpin message. Ooh, I did it. Sorry, you guys. I am hitting buttons here as I'm going down in the comments and stuff. What's that dancing, that slow Chinese dancing that you really pull back in the motion and you go really slow, and usually do it in the park. The Japanese really like to do it. I would like to try that out. I would like to spend a little time seeing if I could figure out those motions, because it looks relaxing. It looks relaxing, and it looks like something I could do right until like the day I die, right? Like, because you see lots of seniors and stuff do it all the time, right? Oh, right, $450 for a pet deposit. And especially when your life is so up on end right now, like you don't want to lock yourself down where you have to work really extra hard to find a place to live because you have a cat and you have to find a way to get. Because that was a big stress on me, finding an apartment that would take my cat. Right, I was really scared because no matter what, I was taking my cat no matter what. And the lady next door said the day I moved in, I brought her right to the door, and she ran right downstairs to the office and going, "She's delivering a cat. She's delivering a cat," freaking out on me like the kids did in school. Everybody blamed me. Everybody blamed me. Well, I'm going bottle digging tomorrow. It's supposed to be plus 16 for part of the day, and then it's supposed to go cold and windy. We're supposed to have a 90-kilometer-an-hour wind tomorrow. So it's not going to last very long, and I hope it's going to stave off a little bit because I really want to go bottle digging in my bottle dump before they start doing the construction on whatever they're going to be building there. So I want to get into that dirt right away. And I thought it would be a nice way for me to, spend my last day off tomorrow, is to spend a little time outside, enjoying down by the river and playing around in the dirt a little bit. And what better way than to do something like bottle digging? So that's the plan. I'll film and I'll post anything I'll find. Maybe I'll find another hutch. I gave my hutch to my boss. She's doing an auction, a silent auction at work. And she's doing it on Winnipeg. So I gave her the first pop bottle of Winnipeg, which was a hutch, right? I hit a button, people. Let me know if I need to come in there and undo something. I figured out how to do it. So let me know if I pinned a comment or something. You don't want me to put it there. Me and my sister Alice, we actually went to a couple of secondhand stores. They had a really good sale. She has a granddaughter, and so she picked up clothes and pretty dresses and stuff for her granddaughter. 25 cents for children's clothes and shoes, and then for adult clothes they were 75 cents. And I got a pair of shoes, tiger skin shoes, to go with my tiger skin dress, and hopefully it'll look nice on me and I'll have an opportunity to wear it this summer, right? The seasons are still there. People will still be able to see. I want to feel good. I want to show off that I've lost a little bit of weight, right? Because anybody has really been socializing too much with the coronavirus. But with people getting the vaccines and stuff, I would assume restaurants are going to do a little bit better and things now, right? So they'll have the opportunities to be able to wear some of these nice outfits. And I just got a beautiful, beautiful Columbia hat for $2. I think it was under $2 with the staff discount. It's going to be so pretty with one of my dresses, right? Yeah, so I have a great job, right? I am not complaining. I am actually very grateful that I've been able to work full time during the coronavirus, especially when I see other people struggling. And I'm so grateful that, you found a way, Nancy, that you found the resources and you were resilient enough to bounce back and find a way to make sure that you're here on our lives, right? You are moving yourself forward constantly. Yeah. And it's inspiring to see you do that, Nancy. It really is inspiring. Hi, you like my cat? My cat is a meatball. I tell you, it is so fat. Hey, are you a fatty? You want a treat? See, she'll come to me if she thinks she's going to get a treat. I have to go and get her bag. Hold on, I'm going to go get her bag. Oh, I'm getting old. Here we go. You want a treat? I've got this game. She loves Temptation Sequence, are her favorite one. I'm not plugging Temptations, but they are a great product, and my cat really loves them. But it's turning her into a meatball. Hey, turning you into a meatball. Here we go. I throw them in the air, and then she just kind of has to smell them until she finds the ball. And she usually gets about 10 a day. I'll throw 3 or 4 out, 2 or 3 times a day. I'll throw them up in the air, and they're her little treats, right? But I am going to have to find a better cat food for her, and she's going to be disappointed in that because she does like her cat food, but she needs to lose some weight. If it's just a weight problem, right? Because she does jump off the bed, maybe her legs can't take that weight jumping off the bed or something. So, it's my responsibility to try and keep her at a healthy weight. Free choice is for humans. It's not for cats, right? My poor cat, even though it's a cutie, right? Just because we love our animals, it doesn't mean to give them everything that they want, right? Because they play our hearts, don't they, right? They look at us, they come and purr in our ears, and we think they're so cute. You want a treat? And then next thing you know, they're getting what they want from you, right? And after a while, they're pretty smart about that. She is a fatty. This is my cat. This is my cat here. She is a big fatso, right? Big fatso. Yeah. But yeah, she hasn't been feeling well in the past couple of days. And it is worrisome though, right? Because if I'm taking her to a vet, there's $300 right off the hop for them just to check her out to see what the problem is. So I would like to kind of feel it out. I've been watching her cat litter box. I'm watching to see where she's being uncomfortable when she starts crying. And, just to see that maybe I just need to change her food. Maybe she just needs to lose some weight and try not to worry about it and know at the very least she's better off here with me than sleeping in a cage, all afraid and all lonely and all unloved, right? And that's how I would feel about my cat not being there. Let me take a look at the comments. I knew I was missing something here. This isn't working. We're going to turn this around and we're going to do that wall next week on my lives and see if that is a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more spacious, right? For my lives. I find that this is kind of nice, but this is really busy, right? But this is my tarot table here, everybody. I have a lot of earthenware that I'm selling right now, me and my sister, and kind of like a little entrepreneur business right now. We have got about $800 already. We're doing pretty good on this, but that money is being saved towards my vehicle, towards my car, right? So she's doing a kind of a trial run with some of the earthenware, but I think what I want to do is I want to rent a table at a flea market or something. So I'm waiting for the season to roll and then just rent a table, and she's got things that she has interest in that she would sell, and then I would sell, and we'll just share the table. And I'll sell all my earthenware, right? I'll sell my earthenware that way, or maybe at an auction. Maybe I'll do an auction or something, right? I don't know. I'm just playing it by ear, but I'm buying up all the earthenware that comes into the store, and there's a lot of pretty earthenware that I've got in here, right? I've got cups and bowls and baskets and jugs and all kinds of neat things, right? But I'm always keeping my eyes open for interesting things, and I'm collecting all the silver earrings. They cost me $1. I got 2 pairs of silver earrings this week, sterling silver, 925 or 950 sterling silver, and so I threw them in my jar. I have a jar that's just for scrap metal, and I'll be taking that up, and that's my money for camping. So even though I'm working towards a vehicle, what I'm going to need is I'm going to need my camping food, and we're going to need the money for my camping spots and right for gas and stuff, the insurance. So this way, that money I don't have to worry about. Plus, I have a sister. I've lent her a few $100s, so she'll be able to pitch in for the insurance and stuff too when I'm ready to. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to figure out a way. It's adapt and conquer, right? And if the universe wants me back on the roads, then it'll help me. I'll get the help that I need to get it done. I know I will. I have trust and faith that it's going to be okay. I always feel that it's going to be okay. Let me take a look at some of these comments here. Oh, nice of you to say that, William. Yeah, and all you guys have been with me for years and years and years, right? It's going to be exciting when we really see things start rolling, and I suspect it's not going to be too long now, right? Soon as I get my car, I'm going to be settled in my life. For the next year, I have cheap rent, right? I have a good job, good hours, good opportunity to make a little bit extra money, and I'll have a vehicle. I have my glasses. I have my driver's license. I have an extra phone where I can actually have extra footage, a good camera, because the Pixel is an amazing camera, and I'll be able to make great footage for making YouTube videos. So I'm looking forward to that too, right? Oh yeah, when it comes to furniture, Andrew, I really like teak, right? I really like the teak, and it was the Swedish and the where's it come from? Norway, Switzerland, Finland. Where does teak come from, Andrew? But teak furniture, that very, very light. It was used quite a bit in the 60s and 70s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and it was brought over from Europe. That's why it's so collectible right now, right? Because it's so expensive to ship here. It's the wood, right? Oh, Scandinavian. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do like teak. I do like teak a lot. What are you talking about? The toilet duct toilet cleaner. I have to go back on the comments. That's nice. I hope so. Life is getting better for me. It might not seem like it, when you compare it to other people's lives, but I'm I look at how stressed people are at. I look at how worried they are about their futures, not being able to work, not having money coming in, not being able to pay their bills like Nancy does, right? And I was in that same situation last year, right? I'm the exact same. So I know exactly what's going on with you guys, right? But you guys are a little bit different because you guys were caregivers. So not only were you going through that on yourselves and having those stresses, you were actually caring and giving and providing service to others at the same time, right? I was coming on Instagram every day, and I was coming live on Sundays, but I don't put myself in that same category as you guys, right? Because you guys were actually physically helping people, right? Like the people that you guys are helping would not be able to get by on their daily lives if it wasn't for you and the sacrifices that you guys make in your own lives to be able to do that, right? So I find that very, very inspiring, right? You would be overwhelmed by fear. What do you fear, Andrew? Can I ask you what it is that is so fearful, Andrew? Is it the future? Is it the past? Is it people? Is it the circumstances that we're in? Is it putting the roof over your head? Oh, poverty and homelessness. Mm, right? Well, you guys figure out a way, right? We're a crew, we're a team here. We figure out what, just like that book, Stephen King book, The Stand, right? We find a way, we set a place to meet up, right? And we take care of each other, right? Yeah, when it comes to anxiety, most of my anxiety stems from asking, right? Like ask for things that I shouldn't have to ask for, things that, I should feel confident that I should be giving myself permission to be able to go off and do these things or have these things without having to ask people's permissions or take people's opinions that not are not necessarily even mine and take them on as mine just to be accepted, just not to be rejected, right? So I don't like to ask for things. And I truly believe that if I, like, what is meant for me will come to me. I know that deep, deep, deep down inside that, what is meant to come for my life will come for mine. I will be directed and easily directed in the direction of what is supposed to be in my path in my life, right? And 100% I believe that. And that's why I don't stress out so much. That's why I don't talk about, when the little things, the little hiccups, the little obstacles in my life, my worries and stuff. I don't let them turn into big things because I worry about the big things. I don't worry about the little things, right? I just trust that things are going to work out okay. And that might seem a little Peter Panish when you think that, that your roof over your head is going to be taken away from you at any moment, or your internet's going to be taken away from you at any moment. But if I'm optimistic, because again, I'm a true believer, what you think about is realized. So if you think you're going to lose your internet, you're going to lose your internet, right? And that it's my funny way of thinking this way, right? And I find even in just the past 2 years, just changing my whole attitude, trying to be more optimistic in things that shouldn't be optimistics, in the miseries, in the things that are going wrong, and just, when things don't go my way, just trust that I was meant for something better, or something was better to be meant for me, right? And this is how I think, and this is what I do to help move myself forward, just being in an optimistic mood, right? And it works. I find that it works, right? And it changes me just to be that better person in my everyday life, to the point where it's not make believe, it's actually genuine. It's a part of who I am now, right? Just like I was saying in my Instagram day before yesterday, we were talking about my dad, right? We had this rule in the house that us kids were not allowed to swear. He didn't want to hear us swearing until we were 18 or out of his house, right? Or out of his house. We weren't allowed to swear. My mom would take a bar of soap to our mouth. No kidding. She would take a bar of soap to our mouth and make us chomp on it. She'd wash our mouth on it, and then she'd make us bite our teeth into it, and we'd have to sit in the kitchen and just hold it in our teeth for like an hour until we learned our lesson, or until she felt we learned our lesson. But what was I going to say about that bar of soap and about my dad? Oh, and I've lost track. I was talking about something. Remind me, guys, what I was going to be yapping about so I can get back into that. But I was thinking it was something about my dad. It got past me. It got past me. If you guys want to write it in the comments, and I can pick it up right away what I was yapping off about. But But I was just going to say how something relates to into my life, right? I was just thinking of something that related into my life, but we could just go on to something else. Holy moly, look at the time. We've been like yapping, you guys. Holy moly. And I just looked at the clock and I just saw that we've been talking all this time. You guys, how have your weeks been going? Is there anything that we need to help out? Right? Is everything okay with everybody? Does anybody need our immediate attention? Does anybody need Andrew to pray for them? Right? Andrew's our prayer, right? He prays for you. He prays for me all the time, right? And even though I'm not a religious person that way, I'm a true believer that everybody has a right to believe in whatever they want, whatever it takes that moves yourself forward, whatever it takes. Awesome, Andrew. Awesome, Andrew, right? Because we are nothing without the people that are standing next to us. And, some of us stand tall at this moment, and some of us stand tall 10 minutes from now. So that if we could just lean on each other, right? When we're not feeling good, and then just support those that aren't feeling good when you're feeling a little bit better. And it all divvies out, right? And it all equals out in the end, right? And then we can all move forward. Like we can all move forward in our lives, right? We can all resolve these little issues that stop us from enjoying our lives, right? Like, oh my goodness, I can't imagine where my life would be right now if I had a different attitude than what I have right now. I feel very calm. My system feels very calm in this moment that we're sitting in right now, when a lot of people's lives don't feel calm, right? But I'm taking my lessons in. And even though I might not be moving fast, I am moving forward, right? I am moving forward. Right? And we are a great crew here, right? And I hope that Nancy's issues, right, sort themselves out and think about the things that have been good, Nancy, right? You still have your train set. You got your internet and your hydro back on. You got your chair fixed. Oh my God, that was a big one, Nancy. You got your chair fixed, right? You have good friends here that care about you deeply and help you out whenever they can, like Nancy, right? And we are so appreciative of your company every single Sunday night that somehow you keep going, you keep moving forward, right? So no matter how bad it is, and if you're kind of on the fence when it comes to religions and denominations, and if you're worried about death, because lots of people are afraid of death and they have terrible anxiety, or they have no joy in their life and no happiness in their life, right? But if you think about it as, right, that you are helping your soul move forward in its next life, that you're going to help your soul learn and be comfortable with you, that you're going to be your soul's friend, right, and help it along. So at the very least, when it pops up in the next life, that, it'll be better off because your soul got a chance to get to know you, right? Right? And there's got to be some kind of relationship in that kind of thinking when it comes to Christianity, right? I'm sure Andrew could whip something up where there's some kind of connection that way, right? Easter coming up, right? Like this Easter is coming up. Like we need to be thankful. We need to be grateful. We need to be able to see the sunshine and the light at that end of that really yucky couple of years that we've been having, right? And things are starting to look a lot better. And that's where we like it here, Bridget's Eyes. That's exactly how we like it here. We're just here to support each other. Let things fly. Something heavy is weighing you down. Like, get it off your chest. Just have small conversations. Just connect with each other as human beings. Let your own ideas come out there, right? Melvin didn't show up tonight, but Melvin, if you pop in and watch the video later on tonight or tomorrow, I'm saying hello to you. And I did notice you weren't in tonight, and I hope everything is okay, right? I hope everything is okay. And yeah, everybody be grateful this week. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. And we just have to remember that. And right, we are doing so good. We're actually in this crew now. We're seeing the vaccines. We're seeing the vaccines. Isn't that a great, great news to hear now, right? That's some great news. And I'm looking forward to getting my vaccine really soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this life has in store for me. If not for this life, then for the next life, right? And just trust that everything is going to be okay. Everybody, thank you so much, Bridget Size. It's very sweet of you to say, right? Everybody, you all have sunshine, even in your darknesses. You guys have sunshine, right? You have it inside of you. And being caregivers, you have to remember that some of that sunshine is meant for you, right? Don't be afraid to shine the light on yourself. Don't ever be afraid, right? Because you're all precious. That's why you're here. You were meant for something more, right? You were meant for something more. And just relax and ride the waves and just know whatever was meant for you, it's going to happen, right? Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody, I'm the hostess with the mostest. You're sweet, Andrew. You're sweet. Thank you, William. Thank you, everybody. That's it for tonight. If you want to come live with me anytime, I'm live 7 days a week on Instagram. I'm only there for 15 or 20 minutes on Instagram. I'm here for an hour and a half, sometimes more, on Sunday nights. But everybody, you're always welcome to pop into the comments. You're always welcome to join in to the conversations, because if we know you're there, right? That's all we want to know, is to know that you're there. You just have to pop in, say hi, let us say hi to you, let us know that you're in the background watching, or that you're coming in after the lives and watching, right? Because we're here. We are nothing, like I said, without the person that's sitting next to us. And I depend on you guys every Sunday, just like I hope you guys depend on me, right? Okay, everybody. That's it for tonight. We'll see each other next Sunday. Have a great night, everybody, and take care of yourselves, right? Be resourceful. And find ways to solve your problems, because we're crawling out of this, right? There are leaders and there are followers, and every single one of you is a leader in your own right. Okay, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Oh, I did this right over here.